I had to ask myself this question many years ago. Is this sustainable? I remember it was years ago when our church was having at times, it was at the season, it was 6 services on a Sunday. Some of you were back there at that point. First service started at 7 a.m. Anybody remember back then? 7 a.m., then I think it was 8:30, then 10, then 11:45, then 1:30. And my background was the senior pastor must be the one that brings the word, because that's just how I've been. It's not that you're better than anybody else, but it's just my responsibility. And so I'm preaching, and I'd come here at 6 a.m. on Sunday morning and leave around 3:30 in the afternoon. And when you preach those period of time, it may look easy when you see someone doing it because they're gifted to do it, but it's a physical drain on the body. One study by University in Texas said 1 hour of preaching is equal to 8 hours of manual labor. My body would go through a shock as if I was working good 40 hours of manual labor just by the time of teaching on Sunday. And then Wednesday night rolled around, teach again on Wednesday night. And so I'm going through the shock. And I had to ask the question, is this sustainable? In other words, if I keep doing this, if I keep going this route, am I going to have longevity? And the answer is overwhelmingly no. And so therein then I had to raise up preaching teams and train the teams to preach and be effective in communicating and using their gifts, and training the congregation that don't expect the senior pastor to be the only one who preaches and teaches and shares with you God's word, because if that's your expectation, it is not sustainable. Let's personalize the question. There are some things that you're doing right now that you should not be doing because it's not sustainable. The way you may be living may be one component of your life, one compartment of your life, where it may be draining and it may be very exhausting or maybe very emotionally distressing, and you keep going at it and plugging away at it, maybe because you are guilty of what I was guilty of, learned behavior. Well, I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to do it this way. Who said so? If you keep going the way you're going, can you sustain it? And if the answer is no, that means you need to make changes. So the question then helps to be the voice of God to me. The question then helps me to be able to process what I'm feeling, seeing, experiencing, so I can be able to come out with a body of wisdom that I can be able to go in a certain direction. That's going to be very helpful. So question number 1, is this sustainable? And I find myself asking that of me about different areas of my life periodically. And when I do, it helps me get in touch with what I believe is the mind of God for me. Is this sustainable?